a living relic of the dinosaur age. Reptile hunter and scientist Mark O'Shea photographs 2 captive lizards before his quest to find them in the wilds of Mexico. Only 2 lizards on the planet have a venomous bite. The pink and black Gila Monster is stocky and aggressive when cornered. The yellow and black Beaded Lizard is larger, but it's more slender with a longer tail. Both lizards have bone-crushing jaws, like the Jurassic monsters that once dominated this part of Mexico. Mark aims to catch both of these living fossils in one narrow stretch of the Sierra Madre foothills to find out just how closely they coexist. He will have only one chance. In the short period of summer rains when both lizards are thought to be active, it's an almost impossible challenge.
This is a unique quest because most of my other quests are for one species. This is a quest for 2 species, and 2 species close together. So it is, in that respect, possibly one of the hardest quests, and one which we may fail on. I really want to go down to Mexico.
Mark is joined by Arizona-based reptile expert Brent Martin, who has spent much of his life tracking and studying venomous lizards.
So it's this Alamos area. I mean, it's a very small area. We got a chance to find them there, but it is 2 needles in the same haystack.
Well, everybody gets lucky once in a while.
That's the challenge, you know, not one but both.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to find one. I'd be ecstatic to find both.
But both lizards are rarely seen. The Gila Monster thrives in dry desert scrub, ranging from Arizona to northern Mexico. The Beaded Lizard prefers the lusher tropical forest to the south. The 2 habitats cross over in just one region, the foothills of Mexico's Sierra Madre. It's a unique area, not fully the habitat of either species. It may just be possible for Mark to find both lizards here. But the odds are stacked against him. Though active during the day, the lizards spend 95% of their time underground in burrows. They have sharp eyes and a keen sense of smell. They can even feel the vibrations of approaching footsteps. To catch them off guard, Mark and Brent will need a double dose of good fortune.
Brent, there's a whiptail lizard just down. It's gone down there, but you'll never catch it. He went in under this rock. If you want to try and noose him. What's he spotted?
Ground iguana.
Oh, really? Let's have a...
Perched on the rock.
Let me have a look. Yes. Cenosaura. Bloody hell. Well done.
Oh, shoot. What happened?
The line broke.
He slipped the knot. No, he just slipped the knot.
The venomous lizards Mark seeks feed on newborn mice, fledgling birds, and eggs. They can eat 1/3 of their body weight in one go. But they save their venom for predators who learn not to bother anything pink or yellow ever again. The venom causes instant, excruciating pain. It's a vicious defense mechanism for lizards too bulky to escape at high speed. These powerful limbs are for digging. They are masters of their underground domain. But they're also excellent climbers. Mark and Brent make sure they check overhead.
Look in the branches about
Which
8 feet up in the tree.
Which
Right
tree?
over the trail, perched right over the trail. Look at the bow overhanging the trail. 10 feet in front of you.
Yeah, I see him now.
I can't see my noose.
Yeah, I see your noose. It's over his nose. It's over his head. No, it went off. Yeah, that's over. You got him?
Yeah. Now see if you can pull the bow down, pull the tree down.
Okay.
Now I won't tighten the noose too much.
It's a large, spiny-tailed iguana.
I've got him.
Okay. Okay, great. You got him? Got him.
I've got him.
Nice big male. That's a beauty.
Look at this. Why they're called spiny. The alternative name for an iguana is spiny-tailed iguana, and that is spiny. Those are really sharp. It's like thorns, like those trees we're looking at with the spikes on them. I mean, that is sharp.
Aside from the beaded lizard, this is our second largest local lizard in the area.
A fine catch, but it doesn't help the quest. Unlike snakes, the venomous lizards always deliver venom with a defensive bite, and the vice-like jaws can grip for minutes, causing terrible injuries.
You don't appreciate the size of those teeth.
Brent Martin can vouch for the intense pain. In field research, he's been bitten 3 times by Gila monsters.
Right. These are quite sizable teeth in the lower jaw here. I mean, they're certainly bigger than the ones in the upper jaw.
Right, right. And of course, the venom, unlike the venomous snakes, the venom gland is in the lower jaw.
Lower jaw, yeah. And grooved teeth. Not fangs as such.
No, just very sharp, grooved teeth. And the venom is worked into a bite as the animal chews down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, your bites, I mean, how would you describe a bite from a helidam? I mean, is it as painful as a scorpion sting or something like that, which I can equate to?
Yeah, no, I think it was about the most painful thing that's ever happened to me that I could recall. And I think it's enhanced by the visual. Like when you see this happening, you know you're being bitten by a poisonous lizard. Yeah. It's very rare, it's almost very difficult to get bitten by a Gila monster in the wild unless you are messing around with it.
There's some very amusing stories about people getting bitten by Gilas.
The myths and legends date back to the 19th century. Mexicans tell the story of a cowboy who rode into camp, the victim of a bite from a venomous lizard. He was dead on his horse. It's impossible to separate fact from fiction. But in this region, the venomous lizards are still widely feared. Something for Mark and Brent to think about as they pick up the search.
Oh, it's a parrot snake. Leptopus.
Stretched out.
Stretched out.
Yeah.
All right, he's going up. He's going up. There he is. See him moving now.
Trotting on my lace. Yeah. Can't. Got him. Ah, we've got him. I had a bite from one of these once. It damn near paralysed my hand.
Don't worry about the noose. We could always break it.
Look at him trying to bite me.
You want a glove? Here's my glove.
No.
You want a glove? No?
You see the fangs come forward at the back? You see them? Yeah. These fellas have got a bite on them.
The parrot snake's threat display causes Mark to try a distraction technique.
Sure you don't want a glove, man? Teamwork.
But this snake isn't fooled.
Got me. He jabbed me, the little monster. He got his little rear fang into my thumb, little monster. Got a good chewing off one of these in Honduras in 1985. And there was a wave of pain went across my hand, followed by a wave of numbness, and I couldn't feel my arm for the best part of a day. I mean, they are actually a rear fang snake. See when he chews? Can you, at the back there, the fangs, right at the back of the upper jaw.
Quite easy to understand how it got a name, the parrot snake. Looks much like the Amazon parrots that we have in this area.
Colour-wise, they don't have any wings.
Green, bluish green, some yellow, right? They don't fly.
No. Oh, you think they can when they're heading away from you?
In trees, that's where you see them most of the time, although they do crawl across the ground also. It's a lizard eater.
With the sun near its height, the temperature is in the mid-90s. Venomous lizards get dehydrated easily. Unlike most lizards, they lose a lot of moisture through the skin and prefer to avoid intense sunlight.
I heard something. I don't see anything.
The two reptile experts are feeling the heat themselves, but their chances will improve as the day goes on and the lizards can find cooler air outside their burrows.
It's cooler than it was. It was very hot earlier. It's a bit cooler now. The storm didn't arrive, but it has cooled down. But you bathe in sweat, so...
This is certainly beaded lizard weather. This is beaded lizard habitat. Tough animal to find.
This is the right habitat, but it's massive. It goes in all directions a long, long way, and there's beaded lizards in here somewhere.
The beaded lizard's yellow spots are a warning, but they also provide camouflage in the dappled sunlight filtering through subtropical forest. The Gila Monster blends into more arid landscapes, where rainfall is low and plant life is sparse. Where cactus meets green forest in the foothills of the Sierra Madre, both species are at the very limit of their ranges. But with the lizards living mostly underground, neither is observed very often, and no one has captured both together. With no success so far, Mark and Brent try a long shot. The lizards are most active in daytime, but they may be lured out by cooler temperatures, and Mark has often found reptiles near roads at night. Even so, it'll be hard to see them if they're here.
There's a Gila Monster.
I'm not even wired up. I had to catch him with my cap. I hadn't got anything else handy. How's that? Get a better grip on him. There we are. I hadn't even got a stick or anything. I hadn't got my lantern plugged in. I just dived out and I had to pin him down with my hat. That's all I got handy. Wow. It always pays to go snake hunting in sandals. Guarantee that something will come out on the road if you do. It's a fact of life. I've caught more rattlesnakes when I've been wearing sandals or flip-flops. How about that? Brent said Gila Monster going to the side of the road, so I just pulled out the vehicle. I hadn't seen it at that point. I worked out where it was when I'd got out. If we'd been another 10 seconds down that road, he'd have been off in the bushes.
Actually, this is kind of exciting to find a Gila Monster down in southern Sonora, because we know a lot about beaded lizards in the Alamos area, but we know far less about Gila Monsters down this way. So this is an exciting find and good science.
It's great science. Every capture fills in the map of the Gila Monster's range.
I feel great, but I really feel half great. This is half the quest. I mean, we've only got to concentrate on finding the other needle in the haystack. We've got one of them.
Mark's spirits have been lifted by the capture of the Gila Monster, and the summer rains are building to a climax, the brief window when beaded lizards leave their burrows to hunt for food. The best time for Mark to hunt for his quarry.
The rain, you see, I mean, that's got to be a plus. The rain last night, that brings out reptiles.
Right, of course.
And I mean, we can find anything.
Right, and we know these animals are most active during the rainy season.
Yep, it's a river turtle, mud turtle. Sternen. That's the first turtle of the trip.
Oh, nice one.
Oh, he wants to swim away. Shells divide into two pieces in in a turtle or a tortoise. This is the carapace. It's the plastron. These mud turtles, they've got a hinge there and a hinge there, so they can actually close the plastron up at front and back by closing garage doors. There he comes, wiggle, wiggle, and when the door's down, he can poke his head and legs out and walk around. But when he feels threatened, close it up like that.
Mark, speckled racer. He's sitting still.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Oh. This is not a common snake down here.
That's beautiful. Just come out, sitting out basking.
This snake is named after margaritas. Or margaritas are named after. This is Drymobius margaritiferus. Or margaritiferus, depending on your pronunciation of Latin.
Okay, giving me a bit of a...
Beautiful snake.
What's that? He's bitten you?
Yeah, he latched into me, but I mean, these are non-venomous snakes. You can't hang about trying to make a safe capture and risk losing the snake. If this was a venomous snake, you wouldn't quite pick it up so freely.
That's really a very pretty snake.
I'm going to get all my clothes.
What does it feed on, Mark?
Yeah. It feeds on bearded herpetologists.
They also have a very strong musk.
Yes, you can smell
Ooh.
it. Yeah, you could bottle that.
Yeah, that'll keep women away from you.
Snakes, turtles, but no venomous lizards. And Mark and Brent can't go on searching forever. Then disaster strikes. Their first sighting of a beaded lizard is no triumph, but a tragedy.
It is dead.
A rattlesnake, too, side by side.
That's machete. Oh, that's killed with machete.
Very suspicious circumstances.
Mexican West Coast rattlesnake and
Just wonder if they were
beaded lizard.
just like killed elsewhere.
It's quite possible they've been killed around here because of the horses and slung out here.
Very fresh.
Oh, that's so sickening. I mean, if we'd come this way last night, we'd have got a live bearded lizard.
Well,
I was just, it's the ignorance. I mean, it's so destructive. I just, I find it hard to accept. This is one of the really hard things for me about going to other countries looking for reptiles is finding beautiful animals just butchered.
these animals harbor a lot of superstition, and we've had Mexicans tell us that they say the beaded lizard is more deadly than even a rattlesnake. So they have tremendous fear for this lizard.
The dead beaded lizard is a body blow, but at least it confirms they are in the right area. Mark and Brent drown their sorrows. If they don't find a beaded lizard alive, their capture of the Gila Monster will be a hollow success, and time is running out. They decide their only chance is to seek help from local people. A nearby village offers the best lead so far. At a leather shop, they find grim evidence that the trail is heating up.
So that's a Gila Monster skin, and it looks like of the 5 skins here, 4 are Gilas, 1's a beaded lizard, and that was also a Gila.
And it makes sense considering that this town of Masiaca is in the thorn scrub, which
Drier.
is predominantly drier, correct, that's predominantly Gila Monster habitat. But obviously they're getting both of these kinds in this area.
In close proximity, but that's what we want to find out, is how close. We know they both occur in southern Sonora, but how close?
It's the final day of the quest when cowboys come through with exciting news.
Buenos dias.
They report sightings of the Gila Monster and the Beaded Lizard in the same area, within half a mile of their ranch house.
Buscando los escorpiones y monstruo de Gila.
Sí hay, sí se encuentran, sí hay, sí hay.
He says there
Sí
are,
hay, sí
they're
hay,
here.
sí. Aproximadamente unos 500 o 1000 metros.
Within 500 meters of the house, they have both species, both colors.
And the little one is pink and the big one is yellow.
¿Qué color es la chica?
Color de rosa. Y el
She's
más grande
pink.
es el pinto.
The little one is pink, and the big one is yellow spotted.
So it's definitely both species.
In the late afternoon, the final search begins. 5 o'clock is the golden hour when the venomous lizards might finally emerge from their burrows. It's cooler, but there's still enough heat for reptiles to stay active. It's Mark's last chance to catch the beaded lizard, or as they say in Mexico, el escorpión.
Aquí, el escorpio.
Yeah. Dundee!
El escorpio.
Scorpion! Over here! Go! Scorpion!
Escorpión.
Over here!
Whoa.
After a 400-yard chase, Mark is breathless but euphoric. He's finally cornered the missing link in his quest, the venomous relative of the Gila Monster, the elusive beaded lizard.
The cowboys saw it out in the open here. We're coming up the arroyo, looking in the vegetation, and this was out on the top on the plateau here. He's a big fella, both species in. Was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember. He's big. He's definitely a big fella. You're a beauty. You're a star. You've just earned us all a trip to the bar this evening to celebrate. Look at him. How do you feel now, Mark? I feel bloody marvellous.
I think we owe our
Excellent, guys.
Our buddies a thanks. for
Too
helping us
right.
out.
Absolutely. Gracias.
Gracias,
señor.
gracias.
Gracias. Gracias. Excellent.
With this capture, Mark completes a remarkable quest. At only one time of year, the world's two venomous lizards stalk the same territory, and O'Shea has found them. Vast and mysterious peninsula of Baja, California. A Mexican wilderness of volcanoes, plunging canyons, lonely coasts, and deserted islands. In this extreme landscape, evolution has created a unique killer. Reptile hunter and scientist Mark O'Shea is a rattlesnake expert, but he's come to Baja in search of something even more sinister. The Santa Catalina Island Rattlesnake is a deadly but silent predator, a rattlesnake that never rattles. It has dangerous fangs and potentially lethal venom, but nothing at the end of its tail.
It does seem a bit of a paradox, a rattleless rattlesnake. Why evolve a rattle and then evolve to lose it?
To answer this question, Mark must go to the one spot on the globe where the rattle-less rattlesnake may be found, the uninhabited island of Santa Catalina in the Sea of Cortez. But first, Mark wants to examine the snake's rattled relative on the peninsula, so his adventure begins 400 miles to the north. Fellow reptile expert Dr. Lee Grismer has been studying Baja's creatures since he was a teenager. Lee will join Mark on his quest.
Thanks a lot. Lee Grismer, after all that email, we finally meet.
About time to put a face to it.
Yeah, that's good.
How was your flight down?
It was really good.
Not as good as this. Mark checks out the lunar landscape in style by dune buggy. Rattlesnakes are a triumph of evolution. They evolved rattles to stop big-footed American mammals like bison from stepping on them and to warn off predators. The vibrating links of the rattle are made of skin, hardened like fingernails.
I'm fascinated by rattlesnakes. They are, for me, the peak of snake evolution. They've got a very effective killing device in the fangs and the venom glands. And a rattle. It's a very well-recognised auditory warning, the sound of a rattlesnake.
Mark and Lee are looking for the red diamond rattlesnake. Of the 14 rattlesnake species in this region, it's the closest relative of the snake on Santa Catalina Island. It still has a rattle, but it knows how to hunt in silence.
Tarantula look. Got him.
Mark cops a handful of cactus trying to catch a lizard.
Can you pull all those out of my hand before I get this lizard? So he's under my other hand.
You have just been stuck with organ pipe cactus. One of the things that used to working down here is everything sticks, stinks, or stings.
Or bites.
Yeah, it's a juvenile granite spiny lizard.
Mark's been spiked catching something that shouldn't even have been there after dark.
Sometimes these lizards that come out in day, they also kind of get stuck at night. And I think the sun just sort of goes down on them before they realize it, and then they kind of get disoriented. Some of them just sleep on the ground, and then when our lanterns hit them...
He was in the middle there.
Yeah, you spooked him. That was a good catch.
The red diamond rattlesnake eats mostly rodents. It finds the trail left by its prey and then lies in wait, keeping its rattle perfectly still.
Oh, well, let's see him. I see him. There he is, going under there. Down that tunnel, moving that way. There's a red diamond rattlesnake. I could see the patterning, and then I saw the tail go past.
I'll lift this rock up and you grab him with the hooks.
Ah, he's moved. Well, I honestly think we missed him.
Stop. Don't move. Don't move.
Where?
It's another red diamond rattlesnake.
Isn't that beautiful? To me, this is like the most exciting thing. Here's this animal sitting along a rodent trail. It's doing what it has evolved to do over the last 10 million years or so, and it's got it all together right now, waiting for some nice warm fuzzy to walk by and go wham and nail it.
He could sit there all night if necessary. He's just not
Yeah.
phased at all. I'd like to back off and leave him be for
Right,
now.
so would I.
A boat trip to the island of San Esteban is the next stage in Mark's quest. The rattlesnakes there are quieter. They only have half a rattle. But rough seas are on the horizon, and Mark is left frustrated on the shore.
The fishermen have told us that Although the sea doesn't look too bad here around the headland, it's going to be far too rough to get the boats to San Esteban Island. This is a fairly sheltered bay, and out there the waves are 10 times higher, and they'll lift a boat up and drop it again. It's too dangerous.
At dawn the next day, Mark and Lee set off on calmer waters. But by mid-morning, the wind is again building ominously. It's a 3-hour journey, and they must get to the island before a landing becomes impossible. San Esteban is a paradise for wildlife, but an endurance test for humans. No fresh water, no food, and no shelter. Millions of years ago, San Esteban broke away from the mainland. It's been cut off from the rest of nature ever since.
The stretch of land literally becomes ripped off the face of this continent and drifts out to sea, carrying with it all the plants and animals that were originally there, you know, very much like an old ark system, okay? Now, these plants and animals no longer have this genetic continuity with their mainland counterparts. They are isolated. And so here we go. This is where the evolutionary process starts.
So, where are we going to find them?
Well, I think this time of day they're going to be avoiding the heat since they've already
Evolution has left the San Esteban Island rattlesnake with only half a rattle. But it isn't the only reptile on the island.
Right there, see that? Right there, see where she's laying down?
Not the rattlesnake, but a large chuckwalla.
This is the common way you generally see them this time of day.
Isn't it blended? Look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, and that's what she's doing. She's just waiting real still. That one looks to be a female. There she goes.
Go. There she goes.
Yeah, she's going over there to the other side of the hill.
And up the hill. Up the hill. I don't feel like chasing her. I think it's going to be something a bit easier.
The hunters are already feeling the heat.
Here's one. Right here. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a root.
Even the experts get fooled. They do blend in extremely well.
Okay, Mark, there's two. There's one right here. Look at her resting on the log there like she's taking an afternoon snooze. Isn't that cool?
Oh yes, on the actual trunk.
Yeah.
Now I might be able to get in there. We'll see how alert this one is.
Adult chuckwallas have very few predators on the island. But maybe they should keep their eyes open a bit more.
Oh, you didn't see me coming. Did you? You didn't see me coming. I'll pass you this one up. I'm going to try and get the other one, Lee.
The other one's right in front of you, about 3 feet.
You got that?
Yeah, I got her.
I'm just clearing the ground, these Lachoya cacti, because if these get stuck in you, they don't come out. Oh, there's two here. There's two.
There was 3 under this bush, huh?
Yeah. I've got a Lachoya staring me right in the face. Oh, ouch. I've got Lachoya up the bum. Ow. I couldn't manage the other one. I haven't got a spare hand. Oh. Hello, girls. Sorry to disturb you in your middle of your siesta. A fine pair indeed, if I may be so bold. Down in that Lachoya, the patterning of this animal blends in so perfectly. I like big, fat, chunky lizards. I think they're really smart. And stuck out here on this fairly inaccessible island.
These giant lizards have remained large from prehistoric times, an intriguing fact for Mark to ponder. The plants they eat are scarce in such a dry climate. Mainland chuckwallas solved the problem by growing smaller and eating less. But on an island, it pays to be large. Chances to eat are few and far between, and a large chuckwalla can gorge itself at one sitting. It shows how island evolution can take strange directions. Even for reptile experts, there's always something new under the sun.
On that bush just in front of the big pitaya cactus, there's another one sitting up there.
What I think is I'll go round the back.
Okay.
Try and come round from the other side.
Right.
If you keep his interest over here.
It's time to round up some iguanas, if they can.
I'll go to a more neutral colour.
Okay, he's looking at me. All right, now he's looking at you. Gonna have to go quick. Hey, Mark, there is two of them in there.
I can see one.
Yeah, there's one down and to the right.
Yes, I see both.
More iguanas.
Oh, okay, go for the other one, go for the other one.
Iguanas growing on trees.
I'm going for this female.
This is really hot. These lizards are at full body temperature. They are so alert.
At 110 degrees, reptile beats man.
I don't think I've ever been anywhere so hot as this. It's just like being in an oven. They're watching us. And the thing is that I want to be fit enough to come out and look for rattlesnakes tonight. If I stay out here much longer, I'll have heat stroke, sunburn, and a migraine. So I'm going to have to go back and jump in the sea, which at least is cold.
The San Esteban Island rattlesnake usually comes out in the cool of night. After dark, the hunt has far more chance of success. But on this uninhabited island, 3 hours from help, a rattlesnake bite could kill. With only half a rattle, the snake won't give much warning. Mark is allergic to anti-venom, and the only treatment would be to inject himself with adrenaline.
Just how alert are these rattlesnakes?
They're pretty alert. I mean, you know, if we're making a lot of noise and carrying big lights, they'll see us from a distance and take off.
They'll feel our movements,
Exactly.
obviously the vibration.
Yeah, exactly. So we should.
Tread softly. Scorpion, look. Ah, long-tailed as well.
Yeah, probably a centroid bark scorpion.
Yeah, well, they're dangerous.
Very dangerous. Yeah.
That's a long-tailed one.
Yeah.
Look at that. One disadvantage hunting for these over looking for rattlesnakes on the mainland is the fact that rattlesnakes often rattle a warning. And the whole purpose of these is the fact they can't.
Yeah, these could still make a noise because they have like a half a rattle, but it's clearly not like a full-blown rattle.
So they don't give the game away very easily. There's something in there.
What do you got?
It rattles? No. No, it's the chuckwalla. Oh, scrabble, scrabble with the claws on the rock.
It's been a disappointing night. At 11 o'clock, they're ready to call off the hunt.
There's one. Just gliding across in front of me. How about that? I was just thinking to myself.
It's a juvenile.
Fantastic.
See how quiet that rattle is.
I just had a feeling we were going to find one. Unbelievable. Absolutely fantastic. I could see the head was a rattlesnake head. But I have to say, I was expecting less of a rattle. I mean, yes, it's a small rattle, it's not very loud, but I was expecting only a couple of links of the rattle. I wasn't expecting 6 or 7 links. I mean, that's quite an impressive rattle for a snake in the process of losing.
Right, and that's atypical of the populations on this
That's what I
island.
thought.
Yeah, generally we see them, they have probably 3 to 4 buttons at most, and the terminal ones are all cracked up and shredded. It's a very, very poor degenerate rattle.
I feel a lot safer now that's inside.
Congratulations, you're one of a few who have caught the Santa Esteban Island rattlesnake.
I'm overjoyed. It made sweating up here all day looking for
Yeah.
lizards absolutely
Yeah.
100% worthwhile. I can't tell you how pleased I am. We're in Baja and we still haven't found a rattleless rattlesnake.
Mark's more than ready now for the trip to Santa Catalina. Next morning, they're back on the peninsula for a 13-hour drive south. Just one more island-hopping journey before Mark gets a chance to catch the silent predator.
You know, Lee, it is so hot, so dry, so tough. It's just such an unforgiving climate and terrain, isn't it?
Exactly. These islands and this peninsula, they aren't something that you conquer.
I reckon you could easily kill yourself out here.
Oh, yeah. You know, unfortunately, some have.
The biggest killer is the heat. Another long snake hunt on another scorching island lies ahead.
You don't exactly just stumble over them, but they're there. And
Well, we've got 2 nights on the island.
Yeah, we busted pretty hard. We'll turn one up. I'm sure we will.
I really hope so. Well, if we actually do find Santa Catalina Rattlesnake, that would be the culmination of what has been a really great, but very hot field trip.
On the last leg of their journey, Mark and Lee have some company.
Oh, yeah!
The dolphins may be a lucky omen, but on the island, the welcome will not be so friendly. The ancestors of the Santa Catalina rattlesnake did have a rattle, but the key feature of this island is the lack of small rodents to hunt. So, unlike its mainland relatives, this rattlesnake can't just sit quietly, waiting for its prey to pass by. But with no rattle, it can hunt actively and silently above the ground, in bushes. Its prey are roosting birds. It glides, then strikes.
And the last thing it needs is an auditory warning device attached to the end of its tail when it's trying to use stealth to capture its meal. It'd be rather like a cat trying to stalk a bird with a bell round his neck.
A mainland rattlesnake bites and releases its prey, then waits for it to die. But this highly evolved killer has longer fangs to grip a bird through its downy feathers and hang on until it's dead.
Lee, have you heard of any accounts of anyone being bitten by the Santa Catalina rattlesnake?
No, not yet. And this thing has the potential of being a pretty hot snake, too, with a lot of bad venom.
Mark and Lee make camp with another dangerous night hunt on their minds. They're a long way from hospital, and the effects of the snake's venom are not fully known.
So, I mean, in the case of a bite, we're 2 hours from the peninsula, and a bite at night would be a particularly unpleasant circumstance.
Yeah,
so
something we need to think about, keep in mind all the time.
err on the side of caution.
Caution is the word. They could step on a rattlesnake with no warning at all.
You kind of expect to see them crawling along this rocky stuff. There we go. Right up here in the trees.
Oh, spot on, two.
Two of them right here in the trees. There may be a mating pair.
Oh, success.
Mark, it doesn't get any better than that.
It doesn't. A pair.
That's as good
That
as it
is
comes.
phenomenal. No, we don't disturb them until we can get them out here. How about that?
The
Right.
one on the back looks like a male. I mean,
Look, hang on. I can see the head on this one's pointing there. That's
Yeah.
not going to be DD. You see, I'm going to have to take them with the grab. Now, the other one's
Okay,
facing
tell you
which...
what, why don't we do this simultaneously? Both grab one, get one each at the same time. I'll pull the back one out with a hook. You grab the one with the pincers.
Hang on, they're going. They can't.
One,
Go.
2, 3.
One's out. Lee, don't use your hand. Here's the grab.
Give me a lantern, give me a lantern.
No, no, lantern.
Get some light.
I can't because I've got a snake on the ground here.
I got it.
You got it with the grab?
Watch it.
Okay, I've got the one. I'm going to pin this one.
This is the first time I've ever seen two together up off the ground in the trees
that.
like that. That was absolutely, positively the first time.
That is amazing. Can I have some water just to wash this fella's mouth out?
Let me get you some. Hold it, I'll support his head.
The fangs of this rattlesnake have got to penetrate not the fur of a mammal, but the feathers of a bird. And that means that they've got to go in further, because a bird's small body is covered by quite a depth of feathers.
Mark finally gets to see this rattlesnake's unique tail.
All there is the little button. But funnily enough, the snake doesn't seem to know. I mean, after all, snakes are deaf. They can't hear rattling. It's still vibrating the tail. It actually doesn't know that it hasn't got a rattle there, and that it's actually perfectly pointless doing that. Look at that.
Yeah, it's incredible. This is a beautiful example of how things can get out to islands and under extreme selection pressures either survive or not survive. And this thing went to the limits to survive.
We have found not one, but instantaneously in the same location too. That's a bit knockout, that is, isn't it?
The double capture of a unique reptile, a rattlesnake that had to lose its rattle to survive. A spectacular end to one of Mark's most grueling quests, in a landscape that guards its secrets.
It's a very beautiful land. The greatest protection that this land has got is the fact that it's very, very hard, if not impossible, to tame. And it's very likely that its diversity will survive the hand of man for an awful long time to come. And that can't be a bad thing.